Have you ever looked into your dog's eyes while you're eating and felt your heart tighten a little? That pleading look, the innocent face, the soft nudge of their nose on your hand, as if they're saying, just one bite, please? And sometimes it's so hard to say no. But what if that one bite is the very thing that could send your dog straight to the emergency room? A food that seems harmless, quietly destroying their little body from the inside out. Today, we're talking about 12 human foods you should never feed your dog, no matter how much they beg. And the scariest part? Most people don't even know how dangerous these foods really are. 1. Wild mushrooms. The first danger hides in plain sight. Wild mushrooms. Not the kind you buy at the grocery store, but the wild ones growing in your yard, along hiking trails, or beside park benches. Many of them are highly toxic to dogs. Some can cause liver failure or death within hours. And dogs are curious. They'll sniff, chew, and swallow without a second thought. A woman in Oregon named Kelly once saw her golden retriever, Max, eat a wild mushroom on a walk. By the time they got home, Max was vomiting and couldn't stand. Luckily, she rushed him to the vet in time. But not everyone is that lucky. Just one mushroom can take your dog's life. 2. Nutmeg. You probably don't think twice about nutmeg, especially when baking or making a cozy holiday latte. But this spice contains myristicin, a compound that's highly toxic to dogs. Even a small amount can cause tremors, hallucinations, high blood pressure, or even seizures. You think you're sharing a warm moment over a fragrant cookie, but an hour later, your dog is trembling, their eyes darting in panic and fear. For dogs, nutmeg isn't a holiday flavor. It's a hidden threat. 3. Avocado. We love avocados. They're everywhere, on toast, in salads, in smoothies. To us, they're healthy, creamy, trendy. But to your dog, they're poison in disguise. Avocados contain a toxin called persin, which doesn't affect humans the same way. But in dogs, even a small amount can trigger vomiting, diarrhea, and, worse, breathing problems. The danger isn't just in the flesh. The skin and the pit are even more hazardous. That large, solid pit might look harmless, but imagine your dog swallowing it whole. It can get stuck in the throat or block the intestines entirely, turning a moment of snacking into a race to emergency surgery. And time, in those cases, is everything. One vet in California shared how a family's Labrador got into the compost. They thought it was just avocado skins. By the time they realized something was wrong, their beloved dog was gasping, its stomach distended, and surgery was the only hope. He survived, but only just. So next time you're slicing avocado and your dog looks up with those hopeful eyes, don't give in. What's healthy for you could be deadly for them. 4. Cooked bones. Cartoons taught us that dogs love bones, and they do, but real life isn't a cartoon. Cooked bones, especially from chicken or pork, may seem like a treat, but once they're cooked, they become brittle. And when your dog chews them, they splinter like glass. Those sharp fragments don't just break apart. They stab. They can pierce the throat, tear through the stomach, or slice into the intestines, causing internal bleeding or fatal infections. It happens quietly. You won't always hear a yelp. Sometimes it takes hours. Your dog becomes lethargic, stops eating, or whimpers when touched. By then, it might already be too late. One woman shared her story online. Her golden retriever had a leftover rib bone after a barbecue. By morning, he was vomiting blood. The vet found multiple perforations, and despite emergency surgery, he didn't survive. So let this be clear. Raw bones? Maybe, if your vet says they're safe. But cooked bones? Never. Not even once. Not even a nibble. 5. Raw bread dough. It seems innocent, right? You're baking cookies, or pizza, or homemade bread. You turn around, and your curious pup licks the bowl. Just a bit of dough. No big deal. Wrong. Raw yeast dough is a silent killer. Inside your dog's warm stomach, the dough rises just like it would in the oven. Only this time, there's no timer. It keeps expanding, stretching their stomach like a balloon, causing excruciating pain, twisting organs, and cutting off blood supply. But that's not the worst part. As the yeast ferments, it releases alcohol. That means your dog can also suffer from alcohol poisoning, disorientation, tremors, vomiting, seizures, even coma. There's a heartbreaking story from Kansas. An elderly woman baking with her grandson. The family Labrador licked the dough-covered spoon while no one was looking. Within hours, he collapsed. And by the time they reached the vet, it was too late. So remember this. Raw dough isn't cute or funny. It's not a harmless mess. It's a ticking time bomb in your dog's body. Clean the counters. Close the kitchen. Protect your dog from a danger they don't even see coming. 6. Mac and cheese. It's comfort food for us, but for dogs, macaroni and cheese is a triple threat. Dairy fat, salt, and refined carbs. Cheese can upset digestion. Salt disrupts electrolyte balance. Fats can cause pancreatitis, a painful and life-threatening condition. One woman in Texas let her beagle lick the plate after dinner. Until one night, the vet bill was over $3,000. She said, "I thought I was showing love. I didn't realize I was causing harm." 7. Energy drinks. You'd never intentionally give your dog an energy drink, but accidents happen. A can spills on the table, your dog licks it, and the nightmare begins. Caffeine is deadly to dogs, especially in the high doses found in energy drinks. Just 2 small sips can cause seizures, irregular heartbeat, even cardiac arrest. A 7-month-old husky once snuck a few licks. Within an hour, the seizure started. He survived, but barely. Caffeine equals poison for dogs. 8. Rhubarb. It looks like red celery, often used in jams or pies. But rhubarb leaves are extremely toxic to dogs. Even the stalks contain oxalates, causing drooling, tremors, kidney failure, or worse. A dog named Luna once chewed on it while her owner was watering the garden. That night, she was lethargic. By morning, her kidneys were already failing. If you grow rhubarb, fence it off like you would dangerous chemicals. 9. Stone fruits with pits. Peaches, plums, apricots, they seem healthy. But their pits contain cyanide, a deadly toxin. If a dog cracks the pit, they risk cyanide poisoning. And the pits themselves? They can cause intestinal blockages. A golden doodle once swallowed a peach pit during summer. 24 hours later, emergency surgery. The danger wasn't the fruit. It was the pit. 10. Animal fat and skin scraps. You're trimming meat. Your dog waits eagerly, tail wagging. You think, just one bite of fat won't hurt. But animal fat and skin are loaded with grease and salt, leading to pancreatitis, vomiting, pain, and organ failure. A dog named Bruno used to get meat trimmings every Sunday. One day he stopped eating. The next day he couldn't stand. He barely made it. One bite of fat nearly killed him. 11. Sugar-free treats. You've heard of xylitol, but what about erythritol or sorbitol? These sweeteners lurk in cookies, gum, even protein bars. A dachshund once stole a sugar-free muffin. Hours later, seizures, ER visit. Always check labels. If it says sugar-free, keep it far away. 12. Canned tuna in oil or with spices. Sounds healthy. Fish is protein, right? But canned tuna contains salt, oil, and sometimes onion or garlic powder, all toxic to dogs. Worse, tuna contains mercury, which builds up over time and causes chronic poisoning. A 10-year-old boy named Jamie secretly fed his dog canned tuna every day. The dog grew weaker, trembled, lost balance. By the time the family found out, it was too late. Mercury had built up in the bloodstream. Irreversible. If you want to give your dog fish, use cooked, skinless, boneless salmon. Canned tuna? Save it for yourself. So the next time those loving eyes beg you for a bite, pause, take a breath, and remember, you're not being mean. You're being a protector. Your dog trusts you with everything. Their tail wags, their goofy smile, their warm snuggles. It's all because they believe you'll keep them safe, even from the things they don't understand. If this video helped you, or if you've ever made one of these mistakes without knowing, you're not alone. We've all been there. But now, you know better. And your dog? They'll thank you every day with their love. If you want more tips to keep your best friend safe, happy, and healthy, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who loves their dog as much as you do. Because saving one dog's life starts with knowing what could hurt them. Thank you for watching. And give your dog an extra hug today. They deserve it.